Who's doing what?
I am not doing this.
Why? Hi folks, I'm Tim. Welcome to the Restoration Couple. In today's video, we're working on the cabin. We are looking to transform this to a giant blue box. We're going to get it all membrane and battened out, ready for cladding. Let me show you how we're going to do it.
I feel like I'm doing a very slow can-can.
So we've got a bit of a treat today. I'm not working alone. We've got Craig come over to give me a hand, and also Joe might be free as well. So we're going to see if we can get everything rolled out in one section. One of the reasons for that is I've gone for a 2.7 metre roll. That means we can do it in one piece top to bottom, but of course it would be a bit of a nightmare on my own. I think the 2.7 metre ones might be more for a factory environment where you're trying to do it in panel systems, but I'm a big fan of doing things without joins because it's just one less fail point and hopefully it's just going to be a neater job. So what we're going to do now is just prep up the last little bit, get ready, cut the battens, and then get it wrapped. So we'll have a look at the membrane properly in a minute, but this is it. We've got a 2.7 metre roll. We're going to try and roll it out here. Then we'll cut it to size, roll it back up again, and get started rather than handling a 100 metre roll. Well, I'm not sure we'll do it that method for this second half. We rolled it out and rolled it onto a pole. So we figured it'd be easy to unroll afterwards, but in actual fact, one of the ideas we had was to get a pole mounted on the tractor and then drive along, but as there's three of us, don't really need to do that. So we've got impact driver,
I'm awful with this.
stapler. We've also got double-sided tape up on some of those fixings, which is a suggested route. So we're going to unroll this, lining it up with the bottom of the floor, and try not to go paragliding. Who's doing what? Definitely think this is the size roll that you just roll out on a nice big workbench in a factory, but we're battling on.
Right, so Tim and Craig have just gone out for get lunch, and they said, as a joke, they said, oh, just roll out the fabric and see if you can do it yourself. Now, I've got everything ready, so I'm going to have a go, even though it's a little bit windy today.
Right, side one done. We're pretty much all the way to the end now. It was, I'm not going to say it was straightforward. We had a few flappy moments, but bearing in mind we were trying to do it in one roll, the alternative would have been to use 1.5 metre rolls with a lap in the middle, which would be okay, but then getting the battens in, we would have had to fix it to the boards temporarily before the battens. This way we could do a batten at a time and work all the way along. You can see we left all the windows completely covered. They will remain like that for the foreseeable future. We've got plenty more battens to get in here. A lot of people work on just 600 sensors. Of course, our stud work is at 400, so we're going to carry that through. And I think that means if we go for a slightly thinner cladding to cut down on a bit of weight, and also sometimes cladding can get a bit wavy as it dries, 400 sensors, there's no risk of that. We have ventilation at the bottom and the top. The soffit is going to be vented anyway. And then I think I've still got some mesh sort of eaves ventilation strips, so we might be able to use those along the bottom. If not, we've got some stainless steel inset mesh as well. Joe's marked up all of the 400 sensors along the bottom. We'll go in, get all those fixed too. We're going 100mm screws, so that's going through the batten, through the 40mm of board, insulation boards, into the stud work. By the time they pulled in a bit, we're 20-30, so we've got about 40mm of screw in. If these were a little bit thinner, if they're 30mm boards, I might have just been able to nail them off with 90mm nails. But the screws are nice, and it just means that we can readjust things to make sure we're plumb.
No comments about how me and my mother rolled this.
Joe, do you want to see?
Oh, let me guess. My one little job.
Check your bottom.
Check the bottom.
First thing we did with the battening is we did left and right of every single window opening. We knew that they needed to be nice and parallel to each other, and they were predetermined positions. And then we're coming in now and putting every 400, basically where every stud is on the inside, in between them. That'll give us all of our battens. Morning folks, it's a Monday morning. It's pretty early. I came up and started at 6:30 to get a head start on getting the animals sorted. Today's meant to be a crazy hot day, so we're going to do 2 or 3 hours maximum and then kind of wrap it up for the day. Joe's going to start cutting all these battens. Remember, we've got to infill below the windows, carrying on our kind of 400 sensors. So there's a couple of little things to watch out for there, which I'll explain as we're installing. So battening below the window is a little bit different. While we are still picking up on the studs, we've put in one which is level with the sill on the inside, which means that's a continuous section to sit our window onto. And then below that I've installed these battens. We want to make sure though that we don't butt these all the way up into this sill batten, because if we do that, then we're just trapping this kind of stale air here. We've got moisture coming through the wall, which is fine, that's the whole idea. We don't want it to just sit in there. So by having that, it's got an escape route and there's free air movement. The other option we've got is just to get around it, and we'll just whiz a little passage through here, and then that gets that full bottom to top ventilation moving and drawing it all the way through. I went with 25mm space here, just because it's easy to hold a scrap of batten up and butt it all the way up. Of course, the other option is to put 2 layers of battens. They don't need to be 25mm thick. You could use a 19mm, but that would cross batten, or counter batten. So in which case, if we were doing horizontal cladding like we are here, we would have first installed horizontal battens, then vertical battens, and then our cladding. That means you've got loads of airflow behind. This is kind of how you would do a typical garden room or something like that. You probably wouldn't counter batten as long as you've got enough airflow bottom and top. We're going to also recreate this whole 25mm gap approach at the top as well, at the head of the window. So next job to start on the cabin project is going to be our truss roof. We've got half of the building with trusses, and that'll be the first time I've worked installing trusses. Hopefully it will go to plan. The layout was half of the work, and the rest of it is basically down to following diagrams and plans that were specified by an engineer. What could possibly go wrong? Hope you enjoyed that video. Any questions, stick them down below. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.